Hey, how's it going? This is James P. White from 95.7 Cruise FM. Welcome to my first ever live Jedi Jimmy podcast. This is Star Wars Day, May the 4th. May the
Cheers,
4th
bud.
be with you always. Just a sec.
Yep, you getting there. No one's on yet.
Oh, they're coming.
You shake that up.
I walked up the stairs. Okay, let's get into this. So this is going to be a fun day. I'm going to go through some news. We're going to do some Stump Jimmy and Jimmy Explains. But this is a different Jimmy Explains. What I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to, you can ask me questions and I can explain stuff to you.
I wore a Boba Fett shirt today. It's my first shirt.
And I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt too, but
we're in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, as you can clearly see.
Yes. Hi, Christy.
There's Christy.
Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. So
Jimmy gave Christy a lap dance at the Mos Eisley Cantina, like legit.
Kind of close. So here is where I'm going. So first, I'm going to start out. Actually, today was a big day for all original Star Wars fans. Carrie Fisher, the original Princess Leia, the only Princess Leia, she was actually inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and her daughter Billie Lourd was also was actually the recipient of the award.
That's
for
her
sure.
Daughter?
Yes, she was in.
Oh, I thought it was her son.
No, Billie Lourd. She was actually in Force Awakens. She was in the final trilogy. She was like one of the officers, and she's very hot too. So that was today, and that's huge news. Like she, iconic character. You know, who doesn't love, Princess Leia, especially in Jabba Hutt's palace.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, that was.
Let me
that
tell
was,
you about.
that,
Never mind.
We'll
move on.
That was big for me when the
still
movie
is
came out
to this day, especially
Yes.
on a Greyhound. But anyway,
also what came out was actually the Star Wars Young Jedi premiered. What Young Jedi is, it's an animated series that's on Disney Plus. They're about 20 to 30 minutes, but it's dealing during the High Republic. Actually, Yoda was one of their masters. It actually takes place 200 years before the original trilogy. And that's really cool. So that's 200 years before Phantom Menace. And slightly old news, but it's still really cool, is actually Jedi Survivor came out. It's the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. It has been released on PlayStation 5. And some of the lightsaber sequences that they were showing in the videos are deadly. I have to buy that. In order to get that game, I have to get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox X or an S. Who knew? And May the 4th is also Star Wars Lego Day. If you're into Lego, if you're into Star Wars, go to lego.com. They have all kinds of cool stuff. I saw one that I need to save up for. It's an X-Wing. So cool. It's all Lego. Who knew?
You're going to buy Lego?
Why not? And actually, coming up in a couple of weeks is May the 25th. It's the 40th anniversary of the release of
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. That was actually the first Star Wars movie I saw. And I was 8 years old and it was in the theater.
That's the first one I went to by myself because I was 13.
Yeah, right? I was 8. I went with my sister.
No, I was 11. Whatever.
And I think my sister cried when she saw Yoda. It happens. Also on Disney Plus today, because of Star Wars, is they actually released I don't know what it's called, but it's a
that was 12. Took me a while to do the math. Sorry.
You were 12?
When I went to Jedi.
Okay, awesome. So so Simpsons actually released and Maggie Simpson in Rogue, not quite one. It's what is it? A spoof or satire?
I
It's
think it's not a satire. Yeah, maybe it's a satire.
So it's a play on Star Wars, and it's Rogue, not quite one. That's quite cool. And it was announced this week by Tony Gilroy, who is the director, the writer. He does a lot of stuff for Andor, and Andor's season 2 is going to be so cool. It's still coming out in, I think it's next year, and so it's still going to be 12 episodes, but every 3 episodes will cover 3 days per year. So and then once you go through the first 3 episodes, then you skip a year and you do the second 3 episodes, so forth and so on, till right before they get the plans for the Death Star, which is Rogue One.
Has everybody watching this seen Andor? Do you know what he's talking about?
Who
it's
doesn't?
actually, listen, it's better than I thought it was going to be, because I put it off. You'd watch the whole thing and you did your whole breakdown, and I didn't watch it. And when I did watch it, I'm like, this is pretty good.
Of all the Disney Plus series that have come out so far, it is. I'm sorry for Mando fans. It is my favorite. It's
Wow, revelation! You heard it here first on the Jedi Jimmy podcast, episode 56 live, that he thinks Andor is better than the Mandalorian.
Because the thing is, though,
I need a ride. Good thing, if you didn't know this, the Millennium Falcon has a full bar. You don't see it in the movies, but we're in the cockpit right now. And once you're actually in the cockpit, I'm drinking some Positive Mike's beer right here.
Just do me a favor. Don't hit the compressor valve over there.
Yeah, there could be some problems.
Yeah, that's
so. Wow. Issues. So you think, and you honestly think Andor is better than Mando?
Because it took me to kind of look at it not as just a Star Wars nerd or a Star Wars fan, but also to look at it from the Muggles' perspective. So people who aren't,
tell them what a Muggle is.
A non-nerd.
That sounds like a word a nerd would come up with.
Yes, Muggles is actually in Harry Potter is non-magic user, but neither here nor there.
Well, you heard it here first. Okay.
So,
all right, I didn't know that. I thought Mando was your favorite. So,
it's season 1 is next, but I'm not going to go through.
So let me ask you something.
Okay,
rank them all like the ones that follow them. Characters based in the movies, not all the weird stuff.
Okay, so with all the series that have just come out, so dealing with Mando, Obi-Wan, Rogue One, Boba Fett. So, but I need to kind of
Obi-Wan. No, you said that.
No, I said that. So I'm gonna go Andor
as number 1.
Mando season 1. Mando season 2, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and then Mando season 3.
Oh, you're getting deep. You're breaking it down by seasons now.
Because each season is different. Like it had a different feel to it. What I liked about like the Obi-Wan series, as an example, is the fact that he started out struggling, and that's actually. When you see,
we all do.
Because the thing is, when you see the hero in the movie or the hero of the show struggling, and then they push through it and they persevere at the end, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see someone that's kicking ass all the way through and he kicks ass all the way to the end. You want to see the struggle. You want to see him lose a bit, be afraid, and that's what Obi-Wan did for me.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is real. Okay, so that's my content.
I know you're pretty excited, so you burned through that in 10 minutes.
Who knew?
I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, so one thing that we are going to start doing right now is something called Stump Jimmy. So you can actually text in.
We're doing it that quick?
Just have a Coke and a smile.
All right, I'm going to pour a rye while he's...
No, so what we're going to do is you can text in, you want to try and stump me, text it in. But before we get there, we're gonna pull out something. What's this, Chris?
Hang on a second. Leave that. I can just slow down.
Okay,
I'm gonna pour a beer.
pouring a beer. Okay, we got to wait for him to pour a beer.
Oh, just look at that. Everybody, just take a minute. Go get. This is a good time for a beer break.
I'm just gonna
Well,
say.
that pours quick. We'll park that. Okay. So I have. Don't touch that. You're not allowed to touch that.
Okay.
Otherwise, they'll think it's fixed.
Okay.
So it's not Stump a midget.
No, I said Stump Jimmy.
I don't know what you said.
I said Stump Jimmy. It's
Okay.
written right here.
Okay. What did he say? Did he say Stump a midget? Somebody jump in and tell me.
We've lost all our listeners.
No, we got 2. No, maybe they left. Okay. What I have is a list of carefully curated questions here with the assistance of ChatGPT, because there's no way I'm putting the time into coming up with these questions. And that's a stretch for me because I don't trust AI at all. It scares the shit out of me. I've said it before. But in this sealed envelope, and it says sealed envelope right on it, so you know it's sealed. Stump Jimmy. Okay, you won. I don't know. There's an argument here. In this sealed envelope, I wasn't why it does that. Isn't that weird?
Oh.
It's crazy, man. See, that's how secret it is. You can see through it, so you can hide it from like the Empire.
Okay, let's just open. Wait,
do you have
let me help
I need a knife. So everybody's going to get a chance to ask Jimmy some questions here, but I've come up with a list of questions. I think there's 11, and we're going to find out if Jimmy. You should not own something like this.
Do you want me to open it?
I think you put that away. This is not going well. I stumped myself. Okay. These are Star Wars trivia questions. And we're gonna see if we can stump Jedi Jimmy.
Okay, before you touch that, I'm just going to answer Christy right away. Come on, really? What is Baby Yoda's name? It's Grogu. Grogu, Din Grogu.
He went through the wood chipper in season 1.
No, at the end of Mandalorian season 3, because Mando did adopt him, he's now called Din Grogu.
I just spilled beer all over our bar.
We clean up in aisle 1.
That's okay. I got a solution to that. Keep going. Keep saying
okay, so
shit.
But his name is
Nothing
Din Grogu.
Can't be dealt with.
Anybody else have a question? Even though we got a technical difficulty on the computer.
We're doing fine.
Oh, this is going.
Okay.
Why is?
No, I'll hide that. All right. Are you guys ready? I need to bring up the music. I need to cue the music for when Jimmy answers the questions.
Christy, did I answer your question sufficiently? Din Grogu.
I think she's happy. All right, here we go. The carefully curated questions from the secret envelope. Number 1. I'm going to start you off easy, all right? We got to break his ass into this. Who are the only 2 characters to appear in all 9 Star Wars films?
R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Correct. Wow. Okay, question number 2. What is the name of the creature that attacked Luke Skywalker in the trash compactor in the original Star Wars movie? Ooh. Come on, Jimmy. And I verified this.
Just a sec. I have no clue.
I can't pronounce this. The Diango. Can't see. Don't look. Okay, so he's 1 for 1. Number 3. In the original trilogy, what is the first line of dialogue spoken by Darth Vader? I verified this too.
No. Just give me a sec.
Use your inner Jedi shit. It's good beer, Mike.
Where are the plans that were transmitted to you?
I'm going to give you that one.
Was I close?
Yes. Where are the transmissions you intercepted?
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. That's fair. Because that's a friggin' deep dive. Oh, there's Lynn's. Okay. We'll come back to that comment, Ryan. He's in the zone here. Number 4. Who played the role of Emperor Palpatine in the original Star Wars trilogy?
Ian McDonald. Well,
Are you sure it's McDonald?
no. It's
Macaulay
McSomething.
Culkin?
It's McSomething.
McSomething?
McCulloch.
Ian McDermott.
I was close.
That's two
I
closest.
get half point.
Okay, you got 2 half points. So you're 1.0 and 0.5. You're still ahead. Okay. Number 5. What was the designation of the stormtrooper who defected from the First Order in the Force Awakens? And I want the number, and then don't tell me his name. That's easy.
FN 2187.
Oh, boom! I didn't even have to.
Finn.
Nailed it. FN 2187 is correct. You're
Here,
powering ahead.
I'll go super nerd on this one.
Oh, perfect! I can't wait.
So in Star Wars Episode 4, who was no? See,
are you going to ask yourself a question you can't answer?
I'm not going to go there. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll park that.
Well,
it's going well.
It's going very well.
All right, next question. I got to cue up the music here. I'm trying to do 2 things. What is the name of the ancient Sith homeworld? Fuck.
The original Temple world, or like
I'll accept either or. I will accept either or answer. Because you are correct, there are 2 names. But you're not getting 0.5 for that until you at least name one.
Malachor is one.
Nope.
Yes, it is. It's actually the original Sith temple. And the one from...
You're out of time. Moraband, formerly known as Korriban.
No, that's wrong.
We'll contest this. We'll fact check it later on while he's telling
you. No, because Malachor is in the Rebel series is actually where they found the temple in which the Darth Vader almost killed Ahsoka Tano.
All right,
in the Rebel series.
So I'm willing to omit the question if it fails to if it's inaccurate. When we fact check it later, we'll take it out. No problem. We can move on. Next question. What was the name of the clone trooper who disobeyed Order 66 and helped Ahsoka Tano escape in Star Wars The Clone Wars?
Come on, really? That's Captain Rex.
Captain Rex. Boom. Ding. I don't have a ding button. Well done. So far, you're semi ahead. You guys better be coming up with your list of questions here, because I'm going to scroll back up through here in a second. All right, next question.
Okay.
What is the name of the lightsaber tech? This should be your jam, bro. This should be your jam. You're all about these
lightsaber technique.
The things that most people don't worry about. What is the name of the lightsaber technique developed by Mace Windu that channels the user's inner darkness?
Oh, that's not technique. It's style, and it's called Vipod. VAPAAD.
Well, I didn't finish the question, and he actually answered it correct. Well done. Boom, ahead of the curve.
It's not a technique; it's a style.
Don't make me choke you.
Your computer's
I don't know I'm trying to not swear, by the way, on this pod like I do on mine. But you're pushing me in that direction. Okay, next question. 2 questions to go, and then we're going to take questions from our listeners and viewers. Star Wars The Force Awakens. What is the name of the planet where the Resistance base is located?
Really? Yavin 4?
Dakar. Yavin 4 is from the original Star Wars.
No, but Yavin 4 is also in Force Awakens. No.
You're wrong.
My bad. My bad. I was thinking of Rogue One.
Yeah, have a beer. Fail. You're still ahead, buddy. You're like my high school average, around 60%.
Okay.
Okay, last question. Sorry, I got a 5-month-old pit bull here. Go lie down. He wants to hump Jimmy. What is the name of the planet where Rey finally finds Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars The Force Awakens? Use your inner meditate.
Sorry, I'm blanking. I'm calling in inaudible, so I'm forfeiting.
You want to call a friend? It's called Octo.
Oh, Acto.
That too. All right. Well, that was
Act
great.
2 actually, but
I don't know, man. You're about 55% ish. We can contest one, whatever. A lot of fun. You know more than I do, and I'm actually impressed that you hit half those. Some of them are pretty obscure, and yeah,
I don't know why I didn't know Act 2.
I don't know. I thought it did well. Let's go back through the comments here. I want to see what Mr. Lindley. Here we go. What do we got going on here?
Okay, we're looking for more questions. Hi, everyone. Coming up.
No questions so far.
No question. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh, Pam Kirby from 95.7 Cruise FM, The Drive. Can you sum up the plot of Star Wars 3 or Star Wars in 3 sentences? Oh, man. All right. You think you can do that?
Yes, I can.
All right, go ahead. 3 sentences. That's all you get.
A hero is born. A hero dies. And his kids save the galaxy.
Okay, well, there you have it, folks. He did it. A hero was born. A hero. Who's the hero that died?
Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, Darth Vader. Yeah.
Darth Vader.
And his kids saved the galaxy.
And his kids saved the galaxy. You're welcome.
Oh, Christie's giving you the easy ones.
Slave 1.
Slave 1.
Boba Fett's ship is Slave 1.
Okay, I got a question. It's more like a discussion.
Okay.
So there's the original trilogy of Star Wars, right?
Okay.
And then there was this box set that came out later.
Okay.
Which I have down. It's on VHS. Probably doesn't work anymore.
Special edition.
And it's like what I call the woke version of Star Wars. And
not necessarily.
Just let me finish. Okay. Let me finish. In that version of Star Wars, they edit in where Greedo shoots first. And I'm telling you right now that did not happen. Back in 70s Star Wars,
oh no, full out
wasted
solo
that
shot.
So give us your thoughts on how they edited that to be more politically correct, because let's be honest, that's what it was, right?
No,
fucking Greedo did not shoot first.
Actually, he did.
Oh, my God.
And I'll just give me a sec.
Okay,
I'll tell you why. He was trained by stormtroopers. Okay, he like Greedo was he was trained by stormtroopers, and they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That's why when Greedo shot first, he didn't even come close to hitting Han Solo because Han Solo was accurate. So that's why that happened. He actually was in the Imperial Academy at one point.
I'm calling bullshit. Greedo shot first. In 1977, Han Solo shot first. 1977, who shot first?
But they didn't have.
They changed it.
But when we go into the special edition, which you're talking about,
Yeah.
like a lot of the stuff that they did add, they added because at the time when Episode 4 was released in 1977, they did not have the technology.
You are dog paddling, and I smell syrup. You are waffling so hard right now.
Okay, they didn't have the technology to do some of the things that they did in the.
It was two
special
assholes
edition.
at a bar with blasters.
But I'm also talking with Jabba the Hutt.
No, you're deflecting. No. You're deflecting. Okay,
a little bit.
Woke ass Jimmy. Fine, got it. He likes woke Star Wars. I like OG Star Wars. We're gonna move on. Mr. Lindley has a serious question. Okay. Ryan Lindley. Okay, serious question. Sophie's choice. If you had to kill someone from the main story cast, who would it be? Are you talking about the actor or the character?
Let's go with character.
Or leave that up.
3PO. C-3PO.
Human cyborg companion. He's like the weakest guy on the thing.
Let me explain why.
Right.
I'll explain why. Because he picks on the midget. Because actually in R2D2 was the original
Kenny
Baker, and he actually was inside that machine.
Kenny Baker, raised a glass to the late Kenny Baker, who passed away some time ago, if I'm not mistaken.
2 or 3 years ago. So
is that soon?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think it was almost just before COVID.
Might have been. So this is all about defending midgets.
Little people.
Them too.
I can say midget, you can't. You can't drink beer. Okay. So
this is really not going well.
And Christy, Jar Jar was not in the original trilogy. He was in the prequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, who is your favorite all-time character and why? That's from Christy. This isn't really trivia. This is more just Ask Jimmy. But I would say Yoda, and let me explain why. Because
he's a midget.
No, he actually was a puppet.
No, this is all about midgets. Sorry, we dumped shit all over the control panel on the Falcon here.
The reason why with Yoda, one, he went through a lot of loss in his life. Like for 900 years, he has trained Jedi, and he saw most of them be killed by Luke's father, who he ended up training.
Grew up in a swamp.
No, he actually didn't.
It's like the Tabor of the Star Wars universe.
No, because Dagobah is where he went, and the reason why he went to Dagobah is that was one planet that's very strongly attached to the Force, in which he learned how to basically manifest his soul into the Force through a former Padawan of his, Qui-Gon Jinn.
And the Force is made up of phytoplankton, right?
No, it's what binds us. What binds us all together. It flows through us, around us. It's not phytoplankton. But the midichlorians are how we learn about the Force and feel the Force.
Yeah, explain the Force. I want to know about how it works. There's phytoplankton or midichlorians, whatever.
Okay, Locke. Yeah.
No, seriously.
No,
explain the science behind
the Force flows through all living things. It brings the whole galaxy together. It's basically like the way that they talk about the Force in the Star Wars universe is similar to um, how people look at religion or a higher power. Like, so I'm not going to get into all the details with that, but the midichlorians actually help us commune with the Force, and which, if you look at it through the Christian religion, is basically like the Holy Spirit. Okay, let's get to a different question.
I'm looking for some.
There,
No, Ryan had the last one.
I answered one of Christie's.
I have more. It's like,
Oh, who built 3PO? Come on.
oh,
That's
actually,
Anakin. That's Anakin Skywalker.
that's a great question.
That's Anakin Skywalker. He built him when in or during the time of Phantom Menace on Tatooine when he was owned by Watto,
That greasy little
the guy with wings that had
yeah,
flies flapping around his
Disney
face.
like insulted the entire Jewish community.
No, actually, that was way before Disney bought.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Okay. Someone said,
Mr.
"Read the
Lindley.
screen, jackass."
We missed
what
that.
are we?
I don't know.
What are we reading?
Oh, here we go. Oh, we covered that.
We covered that. FN 2187.
And he nailed it. It boggles the mind that he nailed it, but he did. Like, there's a lot of things you shouldn't remember in life, but Jimmy nailed that, so I wouldn't remember that. Okay, it's 29 degrees up in here. Do you think they had AC in the Millennium Falcon cockpit?
Hell no.
Do you think they had AC in there? Because they obviously
no, but they didn't live in Edmonton either.
But they probably had a gravity thing, right?
Yeah, but they probably
right? They were always.
But they didn't live in Alberta.
Because when you watch the International Space Station, they're floating, but like in Star Trek, they're just standing around on the bridge, and in the Falcon, they're walking around, right? So there's a gravity thing. So they must have had AC.
Oh, by the way, I just want to add to Christy's question. She's what's Finn's stormtrooper name? I just said FN 2187, but also like Luke Skywalker was CK422, and Han Solo was CK421. And because when they do
you want people to leave?
Phantom Menace, no, sorry. In A New Hope, we're running out of content.
No, we're not.
You don't have any. You don't have any questions. We're not getting any questions from them.
They'll ask questions. I got questions. I got
CK422 and CK421.
Where does Jawas come from?
Tatooine.
Well, okay. Isn't this weird? Here's what I want to ask the audience, and Jimmy, you can help me out here. There's been 9 Star Wars movies, correct?
9 in the Skywalker universe. There's actually 11 dealing with, because you have a Rogue One and you have Solo.
That's fair. And there's countless books and Disney shows and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Why does the universe is a big place, the galaxy is a big place. You talk about the Outer Rim and everything. It's like 90% of everything happens on Tatooine. Is it just me?
There's Tatooine, there's Endor.
No,
there's Tatooine, Endor, you have Naboo, you have
where else?
What is?
Oh, you better read this.
That makes no sense.
Oh, you can argue with this guy, man. We're gonna get into a nerd fight here about what the Force is. Anyway, everything happens on Tatooine. I don't care what he says. It's like 98% of everything happens on Tatooine for some reason. Don't know why. If you disagree with me, jump in the comments.
Oh, that's actually a good question. I don't believe it says is Star Wars Christmas special canon. I don't believe it is.
Oh, this guy knows his game. Okay.
I don't
We got
believe
a real guy that Jimmy can talk to about this
I don't
shit.
believe it is canon. No, because it does
Thank you, Dean.
talk about people that no, it's not canon. Like it talks about his family in a way that we've never actually addressed his family. And actually, I don't know if you know this or not, Chris, but actually, Chewbacca actually helped save Yoda during Order 66. Did you
Can't
know
believe I
that?
made it this far in life without knowing that. But no, I did
No.
not.
Yeah, during Order 66, he was one of uh, the two Wookiees that helped him escape Kashyyyk when Order 66 took place.
Moving on. We got a question from Ellen.
Uh, so I'm thinking Ellen is talking about the original Star Wars soundtrack. That's of course John Williams, um, and he did all 9 movies, and he also did part of the Obi-Wan series, the soundtrack for.
But so was different composers. Like John Williams was the instrumental guy.
No, he was the guy for all 9 movies, but and
Yeah.
then but with Rogue One, with the series as well as Han Solo, he wasn't
Okay.
part of that.
Okay. All right. But so there was other dudes, yeah.
Yeah,
But they followed that same vibe and feel.
similar
and-
actually. The person that did the Obi-Wan series was actually was trained by John Williams, and he helped her get the feel of what the uh, feel was supposed to be of the music.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's cool. It's cool. And he won. They won Academy Awards for that, right? Or Oscars or whatever.
Yeah, he won all kinds of awards
Yeah,
for
best
the
musical score.
the
Blah 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 blah
and
blah.
sound. And it's they like
Yeah.
the original movies won because of sound effects and like the special effects as well as
Yeah.
for music.
Yeah. Okay, Christy, she's just dying to know. She's dying to know what's going on in the Star Wars universe. Here's
Who
where you get to explain some of that.
who is the only Jedi not?
I think she's talking about Mace Windu.
I think she's talking about Mace Windu, and it's because of his style of a pod. Because see, the thing is with let me explain a little bit about the kyber crystal, which actually forms the color of the
And I'll
lightsaber.
tell you what really happened after he's done.
Which forms the color of the kyber crystal. It actually goes by your emotions in the force and your feeling towards the lightsaber. Because see, with Fapod, it is the only lightsaber style that's used by the Jedi that has more aggression, where it takes you to the brink of being the dark side. To so that's why his lightsaber is purple rather than green, uh, blue, yellow. Yellow is actually someone that's at balance with the Force, and red is dark side.
In actual fact, Samuel L. Jackson said he wanted a purple lightsaber, so they wrote that in.
But if you go through, if you
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that's what he wanted. Samuel L. Jackson wanted a purple lightsaber.
But they made it the story behind it that follows into the actual reason behind it. Christy, I know he's right, but it's just in the Star Wars universe. If you're actually looking at it as a person in the Star Wars universe, that's my reason was right.
Did you ever play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
No, but let's go.
So I bought the cheat book, and there's a place you could find a gimp mask and this giant rubber toy, and it was purple. And I think that's where we got it from. But we're gonna move on. Okay.
Okay.
This
No,
is a good question. This is a good question. We're gonna come back to that one. Oh no, sorry, I missed it. That was actually there. We go. This is the one I wanted. Oh, Wow.
I
That's from the original
I
movie, man.
I know
That's
it is.
a great question.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
That's a great question because it's early. It's early in New Hope where he meets Luke and starts babbling on.
No, he's talking to Uncle Owen.
Oh, right. You're correct.
Just give me a sec. Can you speak Bocce? I'm fluent in.
Over 1 million.
No,
It's a lot.
I want to say 7,000. I could be wrong though.
We're gonna have to get on the Google machine and look that up, Ellen. We're gonna get back to you. You've stumped. You've successfully. You're the first viewer so far to stump Jimmy. No, not now.
Okay,
you're in the moment. Pam Kirby has a question for you.
If you could live as a character in the Star Wars universe, which character would you be?
Wicket. Kidding. Because he was played by a midget.
I know he was.
A little person. No, that's not who you'd be. Be Jabba. Just sitting there drinking all day.
No, that would be you, actually. I would say Yoda. And the reason why is especially like with something that he's said throughout the movies, size matters not. And the thing is he's, of all the Jedi that lived during the time of the rise of the during the rise of the Empire, he was one of the only Jedi that survived. Him and Obi-Wan. There were some other ones that kind of flew under the radar, like Caleb Jarrus or Caleb Doom. But he was wise. People always looked to him for help, and he was a badass lightsaber dude. So I would say Yoda.
There you go. I wouldn't pick Yoda. I would have picked Han Solo, man. It's a gangster running guns.
5,000.
5,000 what?
How many forms of communication? 5,000.
Oh, okay. All right.
I could be wrong, though.
No, you're close. Ryan's got a question.
Can a lightsaber color change if the character's feeling change? Yes, they can.
It's like one of those mood rings,
no,
right? From the 80s.
I'll tell you why. Because what happens with, like a prime example is with like Count Dooku is a prime example. His lightsaber is exactly the same when he was a Jedi and then when he was a Sith. The difference is when he went to the Sith. What happened is he pushed all the dark side, anger, fear, everything into the blade, and it causes the kyber crystal to bleed. Which because it's a living crystal, it's when it bleeds, it causes the red color. Now, in the case of Ahsoka Tano, she actually got a dark sider's lightsaber when she gave up hers, and when she healed the kyber crystal, it turned white. That's why in Mandalorian, when she had the two white lightsabers, it was because she healed the blade and it became white.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was just on sale because it was white. Like, it's like white trucks are cheaper than colored trucks in Alberta, right? So
sure.
It wasn't cheaper. Anyway, we can move on.
The dog farted.
Did he?
Oh, it doesn't smell good.
Dean's got a question.
Okay, Dean. Did you ever get into the Old Republic? No, I'm not much.
Dean's the
Dean's
the nerd on this pod tonight, buddy.
That's kind of why I went canon, because I didn't go into the Old Republic.
Explain what canon means to everybody because they don't know.
So it's stuff that doesn't include like the video games, comic books, novels, stuff like that. Like
just the movies.
Okay. Because if you went through all the Star Wars stuff, it would be very confusing because in the books, uh, Han Solo and Leia actually had 3 kids in the books. Um, Anakin Solo, and twins, Jaina and Jason, and then also
Yeah, just
Luke,
keep it simple. They
and
get
then
it.
Luke was married and had a kid called Ben. Yep, that's why. So Darth Raven, I'm not really much into. I don't know a lot. I'm pretty sure I said that kyber crystal when I was talking about the different colors of the lightsaber. It's a kyber crystal, Kyber.
Yeah, and if you get on Amazon, you can get a 5-pack for
And
$39.99. It's just
and
like an Apple AirTag.
also, which a lot of people don't know, but the kyber crystal actually was in the original Death Star and probably in Death Star 2. The main weapon was actually powered by kyber crystals because during Rogue One they were stealing kyber crystals from the planet for the Death Star.
Which planet was that? Boom!
Son of a
Booyaka!
bitch. That's
Booyaka!
that
Which
you
planet? You brought it up, man.
you only said that because I said the planet,
That's
not
right.
the name.
Was it called Kyber?
No, it wasn't.
Should have been. Feels like it should be,
Okay.
right?
He's gonna talk to you about drinking. I gotta go talk to him, man, about something.
All right. I knew this was going to happen. How are we doing here? Let's see. I'm occupying your space. Is this not cool? We're in the actual Millennium Falcon. Hot as balls up here. So Jimmy's about 50% on the Q&A. I hope you guys keep them coming. Yeah, Star Wars Day. I'm here to provide to level off all you non-nerds. I'm glad Dean's here. Dean, are you like a hardcore Star Wars guy or what? Feels like you are. And Ryan Lindley from Getting Sauce podcast, he's also probably the same level of knowledge as I have on Star Wars, but not as much as some of these friggin' guys are. Oh, I'm going to answer this. Let me answer these questions. If you were a hard liquor, which one would you be? Oh, man, that's a tough question. I'll tell you what. Let's talk hard liquor for a minute. Crown Royal, which I found on the Millennium Falcon. But that is not actually the best whiskey in Canada. The best whiskey in Canada, in my opinion, is 40 Creek. And I come from a Crown Royal family, like from way, 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 way back in the day. And even my old man and my grandfather agreed that 40 Creek was is a better whiskey. And all the new blends they have, the new Niagara blend, which you can get at Ace Discount Liquor for cheap, is the best way to go. Okay, Jimmy's back, so we're gonna get off the liquor. They were asking some good questions.
Actually, I want to jump into the
Yeah, if you could be
the whiskey
if you could be a hard liquor, what would you be?
Actually, you were talking about whiskeys specifically, but there is actually one by Fort Distilleries up in Fort Sask. They have great whiskey. Actually, you got to try them. I got a bottle the other day. I'll bring one in. They're actually really good. I actually like it better than the 40 Creek, and
I found a few local ones that are really good. I think I want to get this out of the way. I think Ellen's got a thing for C3PO.
C3PO.
She keeps bringing up C3. Like, do you think? I need to know. Do you think he's hot? Like,
incapable of speaking translations of Sith.
Who was the actor who played C3PO? Anthony Daniels. Come on, you gotta be quicker than me.
I knew
you
that.
Gotta be quicker than me.
But okay, so to get into her question, it was translating Sith, and that's why he need. But that's true and not because he was. But as soon as he did translate Sith, he had to be reset.
Is Sith a language too?
There is a language of the Sith. I'm pretty sure it's not saying Sith. Okay, that dog really does fart well.
Don't. That's you got to fight through that, man.
I'm sorry.
You're live right now. We can't edit this shit out.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dean, I'm with you, dude. I'm 52 years old, so I saw Star Wars in the theater, the original one, Strike Empire, Jedi, hardcore nerd. okay, not a hardcore nerd, a Star Wars guy, and then I met this guy and realized that there's people out there
that are messed.
that are they're you know are what they
Okay,
are.
Ellen, how old is Yoda?
He's trying.
When 900 years old you become.
No,
Look as good.
800 years. For 800 years, I have trained
No,
Jedi.
he says but when
Okay, he's 900.
when 900 years you become, look as good you will not. That was actually in Return of the Jedi.
That's so. Well, there you go. You can't stump him yet, Ellen. Keep him coming. Get on the Google machine. Keep him coming.
For 800 years he trained Jedi.
That's right.
But he started when he was 100.
That's pretty early, isn't it?
What?
What species is Yoda?
Like he's the same species as Grogu,
No,
and
what's it called?
They actually don't have a name for it. There isn't an actual.
That
name
is the
for
correct answer. I googled this because this is going to be one of my questions. So when I started generating those questions, I googled a couple things and I realized that I have a limited amount of time left on this planet, and I'm not spending them generating these questions. So I went to ChatGPT to do it. But that was my first question: is what species in the Star Wars universe is Yoda and Grogu? And there was actually no answer. So you're not correct. You're not wrong.
But the thing is, though, is I'm going to kind of double up on that. How many members of that species do you see in the Star Wars universe?
3.
Who?
Grogu, Yoda, and some random that unnamed.
Yaddle. She was.
So I was right when I said 3.
Yes, because she was actually at.
Beam me up, Scotty.
In episode 1. So Phantom Menace. Yaddle was actually a member of the Jedi Council.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Is that
that
random one?
The redhead one.
She actually
had red hair, and she was killed by Count Dooku when he turned to. When
the gingers always get it first, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
What's the meaning of lettering? I didn't know there was Hebrew lettering on. No, that's not Hebrew.
Hebrew.
That's Sith writing, but it might be ancient Hebrew. I
think all the Sith were Jewish. I don't know. Oh, well, that came out wrong. Jesus. No.
Don't listen to him. Actually,
it wasn't Hebrew. It was Sith. I think all the Jedis are Jewish too. I just bought a Jewish cookbook yesterday. Legit.
The planet of Jabba is Al Hatta.
Really?
Hatta. Yeah, Scott. El Hatta.
Although that might be correct. That they based that Sanskrit on ancient Hebrew.
That's possible. They did because like some of the dealing, like he had some plan behind it. Okay.
Look at that. Lynn's is there. Oh, the Yodettes. Yeah, it could be based on. Let's be honest. When you're making these films, they have to base it on something.
At the time, dealing with the Force and stuff like that, there was rumors of some historical religious.
Well, if you look at Force Awakens, when Rey finds Luke on planet that you failed to answer.
That wasn't Force Awakens. That was that was at the end of Force Awakens, Act 2.
Right? There was these ancient Jedi scriptures and shit. Is that right?
No, the Jedi books, the Jedi teachings, which you learn a little bit more in the next one, which.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That could have. It's based on scripture. It's based on religion. If you're a filmmaker like George Lucas or whoever, you need to draw parallels to actual religions to build your film, right? Jamie thinks the Star Wars universe is actually a real thing. So I just, as a guy that likes to make film, I look at how a filmmaker would approach it. And that's why we have a great contrast working here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can move on.
Okay. Any more?
Oh, what did she say here? What's with Kenny Rogers? Ryan, you have to explain. This keeps coming up. Oh, here we go. Oh, I know this. I know. If you don't get it in 3 seconds, I'm going to say it. 3, 2, 1. Luke Star Killer.
Yes, you're right. I knew it was Star Killer.
Not Kenny Rogers. Why do I know that? I should leave now before I'm put in the nerd pool.
6 million forms of communication.
6 million. We're still stuck on that.
No, that's what Ellen actually did text in.
I think Ellen's got a thing for Anthony Daniels / C-3PO. I really do.
Or as Anakin called him, 3PO.
What was the original script name for Star Wars? Because I know this.
Which one?
What the original film, the set 1977 film, when George Lucas was writing the screenplay? What was the original name?
I know Return of the Jedi.
It's not far off of the actual name. I'll give you one hint. The Star Wars.
I didn't know that.
Yes, 100% you knew that. You just don't know it right now.
But Return of the Jedi, the original,
it was Revenge of the Jedi, and a bunch of fucking nerds like him said, "All Jedis don't go get revenge." I'm like, I'm pretty sure they do.
No,
so it was Return of the Jedi.
It's true, because a true Jedi uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack.
Did you not watch the same movies as me? They're pretty much beating the shit out of each other with lightsabers.
Yeah, but they're defending themselves, and it's counterattacks. But the thing is, okay, we're getting into the lightsaber stuff. Okay,
let's get into it. Jimmy's going to explain some lightsaber stuff to you guys.
So you said that there was actually only one Jedi on record that actually used two of the two techniques that were actually banned.
Thank you, Dean. Residual memory. Yeah, tell me. Actually, let's get into that, because you and me were talking about that downstairs earlier. Lead off, and I got some questions.
That were banned by the Jedi Order to use, and it was actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. He won, like in the prequel movies, he won two of the battles using banned techniques. One of which was he used against Darth Maul when he.
I'm going to the smoke pit in the Falcon. I'll let him explain this.
So when he threw himself out of the reactor area and grabbed Qui-Gon's, or used the Force to grab Qui-Gon's lightsaber, he actually used a banned technique to cut Darth Maul in half. That's actually banned because of the whole the Force for Jedi is to be used for knowledge and defense, never for attack. So they aren't supposed to go for the kill. Now, he also, in the Revenge of the Sith, when he basically cut off Anakin's three of Anakin's appendages, his two legs and one arm, he also used another banned technique because he went aggressively and took out all four, but it was slightly modified because the technique is actually to kill, because how it's supposed to move is you take out the one arm, two legs, and the head, but he didn't take Anakin's head, but it still was a banned technique. Now, one thing I wanted to, another part of the Jimmy Explains portion of this that I wanted to get into is the lightsaber styles and the Jedi or Sith that actually use said styles. Form 1, which is is basically for defense, but it's to either remove the weapon from the person's body or actually their hands. So Form 1 is called Shicho, and the only register, like the one that was actually The most fluent with using Shicho that used it the most was actually Kit Fisto. He's a green guy with kind of snake looking things on his head. Um, and now Form 2 is Makashi. Count Dooku used it. It's kind of very similar to fencing. A lot of one hand techniques, parries, dodges, thrusts, stuff like that. Also, Asajj Ventress in the Clone Wars series, she used that as well. And General Grievous, who was actually trained in using the lightsaber by Count Dooku. Now, Form 3 is Ceresu. There was a number of Jedi that used it, but the one that used it the best and was known as a like a super master of it was actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. He used it from basically episode 2 until he died in episode 4. Um, Now, Form 4, Ataru, that uses a lot of like flips and fancy techniques. Yoda used that one. Qui-Gon. Obi-Wan used it during the Phantom Menace, and he actually used techniques from it in the Obi-Wan series where he defeated Vader.
I just fixed the hyperdrive.
Luke Skywalker, he was actually very fluent in Form 4, especially during the Return of the Jedi. That, again, flips and dodges and stuff like that. Darth Maul, he also used Form 4. Form 5, it's Xian and Jim So. Ahsoka Tano, Darth Vader, and Anakin, they were the most known for it. Ahsoka Tano was actually trained by Anakin Skywalker. Now, Form 6, Niman, most Jedi knew it because it was actually not only in defense of blaster fire, but also well used in defense against the lightsaber. Form 7, there's two forms of Form 7. One was called Geo, which was Sith, and Vapad, which was Jedi. With Geo, that was actually Emperor Palpatine and Darth Maul.
And this is all based on samurai techniques.
No, actually, see the thing with Form 7, there's a lot more aggression, so a lot more attack with this style, where you're actually using your negative emotions to help you with a gain power.
That works for me. I'm going to learn Form 7 first.
I'll teach you later. Now, Emperor Palpatine, who...
Do you want a rye?
Yeah, let's switch to rye.
Okay.
Um,
Gotta go back and get you a cup.
So Emperor Palpatine did, and actually during the Rebel series against Darth Maul, he actually was able to use 2 lightsabers, not just one, and he used Geo, but Vapad was actually created by Mace Windu, who his first apprentice that he taught it to was Depa Billaba, who was Kanan Jarrus's master.
Depa Billaba?
Depa, D-E-P-A, Billaba.
Was this guy in the movies?
It's a she, and she was in actually the Attack of the Clones. She was in on Geonosis.
Is this canon?
Yes, it is.
All right.
And
just checking.
She actually trained Kanan Jarrus, who was also known Caleb Doom. And Obi-Wan Kenobi actually was pretty good at Form 7. You actually see it during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, because one technique in using Vapad is...
Okay, more importantly...
just hold on.
No, more importantly...
Oh, yeah.
This is actually... you guys have seen this on the Jedi Jimmy podcast for 55 episodes. It's always been a prop. This is actually the first drink he's actually drinking out of this thing. It's never been used before.
Has it been
Because
washed?
I think your lightsaber
Has it been washed
out.
since I breathed on it?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
You'll be fine, because you eat lunch meat that's left on your counter, but that's fine. It's good. Have a shot, buddy. Now,
okay, I got to finish.
You're going to keep going. Wow, okay.
Obi-Wan Kenobi used it in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, where he was actually smacking Darth Vader in the chest plate with the hilt of his lightsaber, and Luke used it in Mando season 2. The more aggressive techniques when he was going against the super droids.
Well, Luke's got a lot of issues, right?
And he was actually self-taught by Obi-Wan's journal.
Like, he didn't get laid. If you follow the series, Luke Skywalker never got any tail till he was like in his late 20s. Does that sound right? So no wonder he's using Form 7. Like, he's been beating it like it owes him money. So
okay, let's
you're
go.
You're going to switch to Form 7 really quickly.
Okay, do we have any questions from listeners?
We'll get back to that in a second. I have a question before the listeners.
Okay.
So we talked about this earlier. In the original Star Wars movie, the lightsaber battle at the end between Obi-Wan, where Obi-Wan, tries to head fake Vader and saying, "If you strike me down, Darth, I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine." And then he goes, "Oh shit, he actually just killed me." There wasn't a lot of form for that. There wasn't a lot of form into that. And from a cinematic standpoint, from a movie maker's mindset, I don't think George Lucas knew that it was going to take off at the time, so they came back to it. Can you explain how that came to be?
So if you actually watch that fight in the original movie, they're actually not trying to hit each other. They're actually just clashing lightsabers. And then going into the episode 5, which is Empire Strikes Back, then they start going into the different styles.
Yeah, that's where you really saw the styles you've been talking about come to fruition or to light.
Like,
right?
at least a couple of them, because Luke was heavy on Form 4 in that one, with all the flips. But see, the thing is, if you watch in the original movie, they're just doing this with the lightsaber, just like they're staying up here. They're just
they
clashing
lights, fencing classes, but it's right into it.
But then if you watch with the other ones, where they start reversing their grip, where they start doing flips and using like stuff around and using stuff around them, like in Form 7 is a prime example of which Vader used in Empire Strikes Back a little bit, because not only was he using his lightsaber, he was using the Force to throw stuff at Luke. That's actually a part of Form 7 because it's a form of aggression. So it was after Return, the first movie that they brought in actual combat, like a guy that knew sword combat, to teach how to use the lightsaber properly.
All right, there you have it. We have some more questions. Dean is on point here. This is a great question. No, I missed it. Let me go back.
No, he's right. Nobody talks about the celibacy of the Jedi Council. We all... Huh?
Oh. Yeah, they're all celibate. It's fine.
No, okay.
They're like monks.
No, so the reason behind that...
Scott, we're getting to your question next.
So the reason behind that is because actually Yoda talked about it in episode 3 when he was talking to Luke. Sorry, not Luke. My bad. Anakin. When he said, attachments is kind of leads to the dark side, and we'll tell you why. Fear of loss leads to the dark side.
It's like when your grandma said you're going to go blind if you pound off in the shitter. It's basically what it is.
But where he's going is see, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering, and even fear of loss. So if you look at episode 2, when actually Anakin first started turning to the dark side, he was having the nightmares about his mother and the Sand People. And then so he was afraid of losing her. And then when he lost her, he became angry and then hate, and then he basically killed the entire village. Um, and that's why they were anti-relationship. It wasn't anti-sex; it was anti-relationship.
Okay.
You could have sex, but just not a relationship with the person you're having.
And there you have it. All right, here you go. You're up. You're in the hot seat again.
Who meet Darth Vader in? Okay, so
Name 4 bounty hunters.
IG-88,
Yeah.
Forlom, Boba Fett. Oh, what's the lizard-looking dude?
The lizard-looking guy.
Bosk. That's 4. Actually, they're on the they're on the Super Star Destroyer.
IG-88.
IG-88.
Bosk. Because I had him in. Yeah.
Yeah. Forlom.
Who the hell's that?
He's kind of like a bug-looking dude. He's got like
All right.
I'll show you.
Scott,
later.
we'll let you fact check that. Come get back to us and tell if that's
correct.
I believe him. I believe you rattle it off. He's pretty good at a couple things. Poor Luke. That happens though. He didn't get any tail till he was like 30. So
okay, let's go
7 all day. Jimmy doesn't want to hear about it.
Okay, why is Lindley bringing up
Kenny Rogers? Ryan Lindley.
Ryan, why are you bringing up Kenny Rogers?
The late Kenny Rogers. Let's raise a glass. Actually, Jimmy does an amazing karaoke rendition of The Gambler. I should have had that loaded as a clip.
You should have.
Had I known Linz was going to bring up Kenny Rogers, I would have loaded it up. We were at a birthday party a few months ago, and Jimmy did his thing, and it was outstanding. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even leave early.
Okay, so
Kenny Rogers was the 4th bounty hunter. That's it. Oh my god!
Okay,
I love it.
are we?
It's your show. What do you want to do?
Zuckus. Denmark wasn't what. I missed Zuckus. I know which one Zuckus is too. He's got the hazmat suit on.
Safety first. He's probably worked in the oil patches up in the Mac for a lot of years before.
I actually have Zuckus.
Before he became a bounty hunter during the economic downturn. I get that. I can see how.
Oh, and Dengar.
Who's Dengar?
He's one of the bounty hunters on the Executor when they were looking for Han Solo during Empire Strikes Back when he was actually attached to the back of the Star Destroyer.
Do you think I'm going to ask you a serious question? You remember when Han Solo was frozen in carbonite?
Okay.
Do you think the Empire would be taxed by the Trudeau government under the carbon tax thing for that? Because it feels like to be paying a lot of money for freezing people in carbonite.
But you got to.
It's hard to say.
You got to test for the carbon emissions. Actually, no, because
that would happen.
No, because they're no longer breathing, so therefore they're not breathing out carbon monoxide.
Where does he get the carbonite? Fort McMurray, 100%. I promise you, there's a Fort Mac.
Okay, let's go to it.
In the Star Wars universe, outside of Tatooine, where 90% of every friggin' thing happens.
Okay,
there's a Fort Mac version. Okay, Jimmy? Here's a question for you. Stump Jimmy. What's the Fort Mac of the Star Wars universe? Take your time with this. What's the Mac of the Star Wars? And it could be Tatooine, man. Moisture vaporizers. That's a lot of work.
No, it's not.
What's the Mac? Oh, where's that planet where what the hell was it where they were captured and locked up? Help us out there. Come on, Scott. Get in the fight here. Dean, help us out. What's the Mac?
No.
Oh, you said sand people are all from the Mac. Spice mines or the
spice mines of Kessel, but That's
my
but
God,
that's the
that's
drug
funny
planet.
shit.
But I would want to say Jakku, but they don't do like they don't mine for um like oil or anything like that. But it's just because of all the ships that crashed on the planet, they were actually salvaging
So
because it was a
that's.
salvage
Do you
planet.
think that's the Fort Mac of the Star Wars universe? So here's my next question. Um.
Not Geonosis, or no, no,
Oh, I think you might be right.
no,
Do
he's
you
not.
think that the Rebel Alliance is a terrorist organization? That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, do you know how many civilian contractors were killed on the Death Star? The WCB claims alone are unbelievably off the chain. The fact that they
But
built another one, which was stupid. Um,
but the thing is with the
there's no way you're building a Death Star without civilian contractors.
But the thing is with the Rebel Alliance is they like if you kind of look at the Rebel Alliance against the Empire, you look at it kind of
The
like
Empire was a recognized government.
okay,
You don't have to like it.
just have
Just saying.
okay, just
Okay,
listen,
no, I'll let you
just
answer.
listen,
I'll let you
just
answer.
listen.
I'll go back to doing my thing.
Kind of like the American Civil War. It's one it's one group fighting for power against another group fighting for power. So the American Civil War was the people that recognized themselves as Americans against the British who recognized the U.S. as um, as their territory. So it was the people of the country, um, or the galaxy in the case of Star Wars, fighting against those who wanted to oppress them.
Did you ever think we were going to go this direction?
Not at all.
Oh, I can keep doing this, man.
I I think we need to end soon because
We can wrap this up whenever you want. We've been going for an hour and 20, man. You're doing pretty good.
okay. Do we have any more actual questions
We got some
or
comments. Let's have a look here. Here we go. This is a fair question. I love it. Scotty's on point, man. Who is Justin Trudeau in the Star Wars? I think he's Grand Moff Tarkin.
No, I think he's Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, we could wrap this fucking show up like that. Now that you just went political and attacked the Liberals as a
no, not the Liberals, the Trudeaus.
As a former junior Reform Party guy.
Trudeaus. I think that I
love it. No, we'll entertain a couple more from Lynn's. Ryan's keeping us alive here.
There's an old Italian name. What?
Oh, Dean figures. Dean thinks Trudeau's one of the Organa family people.
No. He's no.
Yeah, good point. Rest in peace, Preston Manning. Yeah, well, Ryan brought that up. We weren't going to go there, but yeah. So rest in peace, Brian. Han Solo. She thinks no, Ellen. Justin Trudeau is not Han Solo. Han Solo has balls and conviction and does what he says he's going to do. Okay, you want to wrap it up? We're getting political.
We should.
It's your show, buddy.
How are we going to end this? Okay.
So we're gonna get off the Justin Trudeau shit. Give people a taste of what you think the future of what Disney, because Disney owns everything.
Okay. I've. This is from Daniel.
Okay, here we go.
I've never watched Star Wars. I'm 45. How many movies are there? Okay, so
educate. Yeah, man.
So there are actually 9 in the Skywalker trilogy. There's 9 movies, and in the order you should watch them. You should watch them: Phantom Menace, Episode 1, the Attack of the Clones, Episode 2, the Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, A New Hope, Episode 4, Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, the Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, and then you skip all the side stuff for now. You want to get your nose into it.
Now,
You
what I would recommend is watch the original trilogy, Star Wars: A New Hope, which back in the day was called
no,
Star Wars,
but if but
Empire
it,
Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and ignore the rest. But if you want the full immersion, take a
if you
show.
if you want to know what Star Wars, like the universe is, I've just explained it. Then you go into, like, again, Return of the Jedi. Skip this series for now because you want to kind of learn the universe. Then you go into Force Awakens, uh, uh, the Last Jedi, and then Return of the Skywalkers. But Chris is kind of right. If you want to know how original fans learned,
Like it depends on if you want to
okay,
learn how the filmmakers. Just hang on. How the filmmakers did it, or how the story unfolded as the universe grew. There's two ways you can approach it.
if you want to know how people found the love of Star Wars, you want to start with Episode 4, A New Hope, like Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Then you go back to uh, Phantom Menace and so forth. But there's a number of different ways you can look at it. But the thing is you got to know when to hold them,
Well, you can
know when to
listen.
fold them.
Hey, listen. Ryan wants to hear you sing a bit of a song here. So
I know he does. He keeps texting it in. No, I don't need that. Warm summer's eve on a okay. No, turn the music off.
come on, sing it.
No, turn the music off. I'm going a cappella. Got to know when
Oh,
to hold him.
acapella.
You got to know when to fold him. Know when to walk away.
This is Jedi shit.
Know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there's a time enough for counting. When the dealing's done, and the dealing is done. So we are done with the Jedi Jimmy podcast. Thank you so much for the Star Wars Day live broadcast and joining me here. And I look forward to seeing you on my next podcast, which will be in a bit.
All right, thanks everybody. Have a good night. Episode 57 coming soon, and hang in there. And we're out.
May the force be with you always.